So, let me just listen to you real quick. Can you talk, Jared?
Check 1, 2, check 1, 2, 3.
Sounds really good.
Check.
So, yeah, it's really good. So, just pretty much, we can only hear you when the mic is on you. So he's gonna ask you a question, and then just wait for the mic to come to you, and then we'll get like the best audio. So just try to give as much detail, because in a sense, your audience doesn't know what's going on. Because this gets pushed out all over the U.S. and stuff to YouTube. So just try to give as much detail as you can. Okay? Yeah. And you can look at we are good to go.
Well, I'm here with Don, the father of Lorante, Studesville. Can you tell us what happened to your son on July 3rd?
Oh, July 3rd, my son was shot by an Oakland police officer in the back while hanging outside with his friends. And we've been in this great upheaval trying to get answers ever since.
How did the situation go down? Can you explain as you understand how it go down?
Well, it appears that my son was out kicking with his friends. Some cops rolled up on him and spooked them, and they went running. And when they went running, hit hopping fences. I think when the cops got spooked, popped my son on the other side of the street. Now that cover-up, the reason we pissed off is because that cover-up on the news in the newspaper said my son was a drug dealer that was carrying 2 weapons they suspected, just because somebody else had 2 weapons that they popped earlier in some other time that they said it's not usual for people to have 2 guns. The officer said that he had a gun in his waist. It looked like he was drawing a weapon, running toward the car officer, but we know that's not true. I went to the place, my son was shot on the side of a house dug behind some bushes in the back. And then they said their reasons for even stopping him, man, was that they claimed that he swallowed some drugs, looked like, right? But you know, in the hospital, his stomach was connected to the tube and a little bucket thing, and there was no drugs in the tube, in the bucket. As a matter of fact, it was not even in the stomach, you know what I'm saying? So we knew that they lied then, and for a while we had been hushed, and then there was a lot of silencing going on as far as my voice in the community, but now we stepping back up and we're trying to put the story back out there. And since then, so many kids have gotten hurt in Oakland, California, people not even paying attention to it. Gary King just got murdered by a police officer in a horrible way, officers, and there's other kids getting hurt in the same fashion, and my son is traumatized. I mean, literally, his chest cavity is not the same, his body is not the same. He needs plastic surgery, he goes to therapy once a week, he can't go to school, he's in homeschool. I mean, he's going through so much in the mind, he's mentally torn up, and he's very angry about what happened to him.
How did the community respond, or how, especially that? What has been going on? Can you explain the movement that has been going on that we have both been a part of?
Yeah. Well, you know, thanks to you, you know, when it got out from the first place, and then the kpfa radio and the Black Panthers, you know, it got out to the community. We made hundreds of posters. We posted them up everywhere. And while we were making momentum and people were hitting my MySpace page, I mean, I got like 300,000 hits on my MySpace page since my son got injured. So many people rallying, trying to just show support. My YouTube, just it's available so people can see it on YouTube, and so many thousands of people have gone on YouTube to see it, and it's been a momentum there. But during that momentum, Jay already knows that my parole officer got a call saying that if I was speaking at any events on behalf of my son shot by the police, that if I was arrested, I mean, if anyone was arrested at the event, that I would go to jail for inciting a riot. So they was trying to hush me, and they don't even know. I mean, I didn't even know how they knew I was on parole. You know what I'm trying to say? So I was a little quiet. That kind of spooked me for a minute because I got worried, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I kind of worried that the police was gonna kill me. You know what I mean? If I spoke up, because this is Oakland, California. I don't know. I mean, the rest of the world might not know, but we're in the heart of a political boiling pot here in Bay Area. It's not just killing and hyphy out here. It's some real activists out here. It's some real hip hop. It's some real conscious people out here, and it's some real political terrorism going on out here in the Bay Area. So we began to get a little momentum back, and when Gary King's son got killed, you know, that really just shined a light on the action of it, because now we have an actual death out of it. Well, my son was supposed to die. So I'm just real encouraged by the momentum of the community, but I'm discouraged at the lack of answers we had in, say, for instance, the town hall meeting the other day.
The city councilwoman, Jane Bruner, through a town hall meeting with a number of different police officers, the chief of police, captains, prosecutors were there, and had representatives there. What happened at the meeting? Because I know a number of supporters who wanted answers about police terrorism were there, including yourself. What happened at the meeting? How did the city council, Oakland City Council, as well as the police department, as well as the prosecutor's office, respond to you and other police terrorism, or people who want answers about this police terrorism in Oakland?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna tell you something. I haven't been angry, literally like on tape, on camera, anywhere until that night. I was angry. I haven't been crying in public until that night. I realized how much my son's life and the answers to the community was worthless. I walked out the meeting, and I walked out because of this. They had agenda about certain things, which I respect. You know, it could have been ladies concerned about who's parked in front of their home or whatever like that. You know, and it could have. It was very slow coming before I could get on the microphone. But when I did get on the microphone, I asked a simple question, and that question was, if someone commits a crime, they're arrested, there's a police report, and within 3 days you're arraigned in America. That's the law. You have to be brought to charges within 3 days. With the Oakland Police Department, it's not so. The Oakland Police Department is now 7 months, and we have no police report. I don't know if you in America can understand what that means, but we have no police report after 7 months. If Watergate happened and you had no police report, it'd be a problem. I mean, when President Clinton, if he had sex or not, it was such a big deal to people. I mean, they had to know. They want to impeach him to get an answer. And I'm saying that no one's getting answers. They're protecting themselves. And Gary King's brother asked the same thing. He was like, hey, what's going on? How come Patrick Gonzalez hasn't been brought to justice? How come you haven't arrested this man who's not only killed his brother, but that man murdered somebody else too? From what I understand, Gonzalez killed somebody else, maimed another person, and killed Gary King. So I'm saying to you that when confronted with these questions, the captain literally took my question, looked at me, turned around politely, walked over to, I believe her name was Jane. Jane Bruner. And Jane Bruner started a whole different conversation and topic, and everybody started yelling, answer his question, answer his question. There's no answers, and that's the truth. And anybody who's there can tell you that's the truth. They will not answer me. The chief of police won't talk to me in public, but he won't talk to me one-on-one. And he could appease me one-on-one, but I want to hear something in the public. I want you to tell me in front of people what you got to say. I don't talk to me behind closed doors, because you wasn't talking to me behind closed doors during the time they was on the news saying my son was just a drug dealer, or he had a gun, and now we don't even know what the gun is, or if there's a fingerprint on it. You know, when people do something wrong, they use it in the media quickly, like, oh no, this youngster did this. But no one is, you know, it's a lie. It's a lie. I'm firmly believe that police tried to murder my son and they covered it up, and it's just like Gary King's father. And if nobody stands up to say something, then, you know, I'm gonna continue to say something. I'm not gonna let them threaten my parole or threaten me to whatever, because if I don't say something, soon enough another kid is gonna die here. Soon enough, I guarantee by summertime, unless we make a noise, they're gonna kill another kid here. They're gonna kill somebody else. And they don't have to be a kid. They're gonna kill somebody here, and they're not playing.
Straight up. Where can people get in contact with you guys? Where can they learn more about the case, and how can they help out in this situation?
Well, you can come and see the whole story. The whole story in video format is on MySpace. It's on myspace.com/Blackbook840. There's a whole listing of videos, one after another. And if that don't work for you, you can go to YouTube. You go to YouTube at youtube.com/Blackbook840 and see the whole videography again, because I chronicled every operation. I chronicled when the doctors gave him an infection by touching him wrong or something, and his chest cavity was infected, and they had to pull bones out of his body. I mean, he's been adversely infected. He has had 5 surgeries. He had 2 blood transfusions. The boy, his messed up teeth was broken. Chin was split open. He was beat, man. He was beat terribly, and it's no way that they just shot him one time, because his chin was busted open also, you know. So a lot of that's there, and I smuggled it out. You know, I had to break the law to do that. You feel me? Because they was talking about don't film here and all that, but nobody was listening to me. So I filmed his first steps he took in the hospital. I filmed him when he first had to sit up for the first time, because he was starting to get decubitus, that's bed sores on his body. So it's a lot there if you're interested in it, and you can email me personally at blackbook840@yahoo.com, and you know that's the way you can just to relate to me, and we can stay in contact with one another. But it's very frustrating, man. It's very frustrating. I just wanted to get the people on tape who's made this possible. JR, Minister of Information. He's been in my corner even when my record was released. He's the first person to put us on the radio. He's been with us the whole Lorante Studiosville case. It's been wonderful. And I just wanted this beautiful lady here to introduce herself and say who she is.
Oh, I'm helping to document you. I'm Ann Bissett, and I'm a I'm a videographer, and I help to produce Yo TV. We get out the voices of the young and the restless here in the Bay Area.
That's what's up. And I just want to know, can I use you on tape?
Yes, you may.
That's my video release right there.
Release.
I know about that. All right, peace.
Mr. Banks, motherfucker banking on motherfucker. Yeah, my nigga, coming from Fillmore, G. No, it's too dope. Highway to the next right. I see you in that motherfucker, man.
Just wanna call it the Irish, you know. I know this Fillmore just a run team. Classy, I just a run team around here, you know. Fillmore just a run team. Said me have to give enough dedication for the one Rico Irish.